So I don't know if it's just me, but does anyone else start packing for a convention literally a week before you even have to start? Second part of getting ready for con is getting the costumes out, and luckily the Lawrence outfit from Spice and Wolf has been sitting on my dress form for a month, so I guess it's just gonna kind of stay there until the end of the week. Also, say hi to Milo! Hi Milo! So the one situation I always run into is finding somewhere to put my wallet in a costume that has no pockets. So this year for Holo, I got a basket and it has fake apples, and then I can hide this little pocketbook underneath. Isn't that such a good idea? I'm really liking this. I'm so bad because I literally put my wigs on the heads with their masks and ears on my bookshelf because then I won't forget to take them. Okay, so we've got more wigs, more wig heads, more masks, more ears. Pretty much my entire room looks like a theater performance area right now. It's a little wild right before con. All right, you guys, it's game time because today is Tuesday and Sakura Con starts this Friday. So I have 2 days to prepare, pack, and get ready for an amazing year of Sakura Con once again, since I haven't been there since 2019 before the pandemic started and everything. And I am so excited to go this year, specifically because it's my 15th anniversary going to Sakura Con. Yes, long ago, I was a little preteen Lynn who went to Sakura Con in 2007 and experienced the best convention weekend I have ever had, which is why I decided to continue doing cosplay, learning more skills about how to get creative and make costumes, and it dipped me into this crazy cool subculture world that I had no clue about. It really changed my life. So in order for me to give back to my community who has done so much for me, I wanted to give you guys some tips about going specifically to Sakura Con. So what I'm going to tell you guys today is just a couple different hidden things you might not know about Seattle, about the convention center itself, really good tips about going to the events and panels at this specific convention. So thank you, Sakura Con, for giving me 15 years full of wonderful memories. I mean, I made lifelong friends there. I dated people there. I have amazing pictures of me being just a very cringy teenager there, and I have all of this to thank to an amazing convention. So here we go, guys. I'm gonna break it down and give you guys just some really awesome tips for Sakura Con. Okay, so the first thing we are going to talk about is hotels and parking, and this is mostly because I always see people asking really specific comments when it comes to conventions about where do I park? How much is it going to cost? What about hotels? What should I know about hotels? So I thought I'd kind of throw this in as a little preemptive if you guys have questions about staying or parking. Hopefully you've already gotten, a hotel because we are really down to the last minute. So I wanted my tea before I set it down. Okay, so parking in Seattle is really freaking expensive. Anyone who lives here can tell you that. Anytime that I go to an event, I pretty much just plan to spend $20 to park for a few hours, and that is really normal here. So when people come from out of town, sometimes there's a little bit of sticker shock when they see how much parking for a weekend could cost them. Even if you're staying at a hotel, the hotel parking will easily cost you between $50 to $70 per night. And of course, it's a 3-day convention, so you're probably gonna be there on the 3rd day and spend a few hours in their parking garage there as well. Keep that in mind, it can really add on to the cost. However, there is a parking garage that is really close by. It's 2 blocks away from the convention center, and it's actually at the Washington Athletic Club. It's called the 6th Avenue Parking Garage, and this is kind of a little known secret, I guess. Me and my friends found out about this a few years ago, and we almost always park there when we are staying for a weekend or just staying for the day because it's significantly cheaper. And it always has openings. I've never tried to park in there and been unsuccessful in finding a spot, but I think people just don't look towards that way. So look it up if you guys are interested. Highly recommend parking there. And if not, definitely just look for garages that are a few blocks away. The farther you get from the convention center, the lower the price will go down. And sometimes they even have like full weekend parking specials. Yeah, don't get too bad of sticker shock. It happens. The other thing is staying in downtown. So this is something that I have learned over staying at 4 or 5 different hotels now. We've stayed at the Motif, the Crowne Plaza, the Sheraton, a few other hotels. I can't even remember, it's been so long. But one thing that I have found year after year, which has been extremely important to myself and my friends, has been if we want to go out at night and stay out at the late night panels, like most people who go to Sakura Con stay out until 2 in the morning easily because there's the raves and there's late night panels, and sometimes they'll do like screening of animes that are just really fun to go to at like 1 in the morning. Please look for a hotel or stay closer by to the convention center, as in try not to park too far, and if in the future years, try to get a hotel that's closer by. This is actually why I typically stay at the Sheraton, even if it's more expensive. Walking at night in downtown Seattle is really scary, and there are definitely streets that you should not be walking on at all. You should completely avoid. And it is so easy for someone who is from out of town to end up down one of those streets in a situation they would rather not be in. We have a pretty significant homeless problem as well, and you will notice at night a lot of homeless people will make their beds or tents down certain areas. So just because you came to the convention center in the daylight a certain way doesn't mean you can necessarily go back to where you're staying that same way. So that's also something to keep in mind. Okay, let's go on to the next thing, which is food, because if you're gonna be at a convention, you're gonna be eating, and hopefully the food is gonna be awesome, because that just puts you in the mood for having a good weekend. Make sure to eat, make sure to drink water, make sure to take care of yourself while you're there, of course. But what I really want to nail down in everyone's heads are that most restaurants anywhere close to the convention center will have a 2-hour wait time easily. So at the end of the day, you're exhausted, you just want to sit down and have a hot meal, rest your feet, you're with your friends, you think, how long can the wait possibly be? I have actually been into Cheesecake Factory when it had over a 3-hour wait and they were just like not taking reservations anymore. So it happens. I really highly recommend that if you're watching this video and it's a few days before con, go online, decide what night you want to eat out, or if you're going to eat out both nights, and just make your reservations on OpenTable or the restaurant's website, because if you do it now, you don't have to worry about it later. You have a reservation and you don't have to stand in that 2-hour line and miss an event. It really sucks. However, I highly recommend taking advantage of staying in a downtown city and using Grubhub and DoorDash, because there are so many options for food in Seattle. We have every type of culture of food, style of food, price of food. And if you're gonna be in your hotel anyways, like a lot of times we will literally sit in our hotel, take our shoes off and just watch whatever's on TV. You might as well just do double time and get some food while you're also resting. It's also a really great idea to get pizza, because pizza, the delivery fee is a lot less than Grubhub, and they always deliver to hotels. A lot of times the pizza places will be really close to the hotel, so they're kind of used to it. We have ordered pizza many times in the past, and it's a really great food. It's hot, it's ready really fast, you can eat it, not super messy. I don't know, it's a good option. The other thing that I want to say is that the grocery stores that are nearby are a great place to actually go get pre-made food, because typically, there's deli food and snacks you can just go grab. But a lot of people don't think about this during convention weekends. Surprisingly, I have led many people to a grocery store that's a few blocks down from the convention center, and they were shocked that you could go get bowls of noodles and things that were already pre-made and just take them back to your hotel room. You don't have to pay a delivery fee. It's nearby, and you don't have to beat a million crowds to get in there. It's also great too, because in previous years we would bring snacks with us, but I've just found I don't really have time to do that before conventions anymore. So like the first day I'm down there, if I get some free time, I will run down to one of the grocery stores and I'll go pick up a box of protein bars and then keep them in my hotel room all weekend, or maybe like some drinks or whatever I need. So I highly recommend checking out grocery stores that are nearby. I think there's even a PCC, which is kind of like a natural, organic, local food place, grocery store, there we go. It's a really good grocery store. It's a little bit on the pricey side, but they have so many amazing foods there. Really local, very natural, just a lot of healthier options, or if you have like food allergies and stuff, it's a great place and it's really close by. The other thing that a lot of people don't know about because they don't venture away from the convention center itself is that a lot of the smaller restaurants and coffee shops will actually do a special that weekend for Sakura Con to celebrate the patrons that come down there every year. So if you go into a local coffee shop, you might find like a Sakura latte or a Sakura frappuccino that's like green and pink, or you might find like some fun little anime or manga named themed thing, or they might even have discounts for that weekend. So don't be afraid to venture away and like see what's out there. Even Starbucks nearby in the past did really fun drinks that they only had for that weekend, and it was kind of fun to like, I don't know, get a little frappuccino and be like, oh yeah, this is my Sakura Con frappuccino, I feel really special. Okay, taking a breath, drinking some green tea. We got this, okay. There's so much I could teach you guys about going to Sakura Con. I'm really, really trying to narrow it down to the most important things. So hopefully you're getting good information, but I'm not like overwhelming you. If you have to take notes, take notes. Okay, so obviously we're gonna talk about the convention center itself. And I think one thing that I want to let everyone know is that Sakura Con has always been a very busy convention. Even back in 2007, when it was first getting up on its legs, it was crowded. There was a ton of people. I mean, the convention center itself is a really awesome place to host a convention because there's so many rooms. The main stages are so professional, and there's really great places to take photos nearby. So it's kind of like the perfect trifecta of cosplay. And so when you go, expect massive amounts of crowds, going up and down like 6 escalators, and also walking a whole lot. So I'm gonna talk about all of this. First thing I always tell people to do, if they're gonna go to Sakura Con with me, they have to get the app and they need to set alerts on their phone for the events they wanna go to. Now, I really think that this is the best use of technology at any event, but especially at conventions where panels can change, or they might switch the locations they were going to be at. Be prepared to get push alerts for those events. But not only that, you can get reminder push alerts. So 15 minutes before an event starts, it'll send you an alert saying, hey, don't forget your event is in 15 minutes, get your butt over there. And I use those alerts during my convention weekends so freaking much. Ever since they came out with that, it has been like a deep sigh of relief. I don't have to carry around a paper booklet with me all weekend and worry about losing it because I highlight it and write notes. It doesn't have to happen. However, like I just said, you're going to be walking a lot, and I highly recommend bringing shoes, like comfy extra shoes, because at some point during the weekend, you are going to be completely sick of whatever shoes you brought, whether they were super comfy before and now they aren't. It really helps to have like a pair of tennis shoes with you and just a pair of like slip-on flats or something that is very neutral color that you can, put on with a cosplay outfit. There's been 2 different times where I had a cosplay outfit that I absolutely loved, and by the end of the day, I ended up just throwing away the shoes because they hurt my feet so bad and I just didn't realize it. So save yourself the trouble. The convention center is massive. You will be walking like 10 miles in a day, I guarantee it. Okay, so one thing that many people don't know about Sakura Con is that they are extremely strict with any prop weapons or any props that could cause damage if used incorrectly. And I really feel that many people, as soon as they get to the convention center, should just go get their weapons piece bonded right away, because it will save you the grief of getting yanked out of a line by staff members saying, where's your ribbon on that item? And you going, it's a stick, it's not a weapon. And them going, get your butt over to peace spawning now, and you have to get out of line. And it's a whole thing. Has it happened to me before? Yes, and multiple times too, because certain items I had with me I didn't think were necessarily weapons. But if you have an accessory and it's very large or looks like it could be a weapon or anything, just go to the peace spawning table really quick and get the little ribbon or whatever you need. Because yeah, it really sucks to be in a very important event that you don't want to lose your spot for, and someone notices you don't have it. They are very, very strict at this convention compared to other conventions. Okay, let's talk about the shopping hall, which most people who go to conventions, this is kind of like the beautiful oasis in the desert that everyone is just like naturally drawn to. So when you are going to the shopping hall, you're probably gonna go whenever it feels right for you. But I typically will go earlier in the day just to kind of scope out and like see what's out there. So Sakura Con has an artist alley, which is, you know, smaller artists and customized artists selling their wares. And then they also have the shopping hall, which is more commercialized artists and traders and things like that. So there's two very large shopping areas. What I highly recommend is going through them earlier in the day, or like one of the first things you do, kind of be going through them. If there's something that you have been looking for that you have to buy, just get it then, so it's like out of the way. But if it's something that there's a lot of, or it's not necessarily super important, I highly recommend waiting until the afternoon when you're about to head back to your hotel room, because this will reduce the amount of time you have to spend carrying around your stuff. And if you're in a cosplay outfit, it really sucks when you have like arms full of bags and you're trying to get back and someone's like, Sailor Moon, can I get a picture with you? And you're like, okay. And then you have to like put all your stuff down in a corner and then like walk away and take the picture and then run back and make sure no one took it. It gets to be quite a hassle. And there has been years where I have bought a lot of bags of stuff and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just want to go back to the hotel and get it back safely. So yeah, try to go scope out earlier, buy later. And the other thing is, if you wait until the last day, a lot of vendors who are more of the artist style vendors and even some of the commercial vendors will put a lot of their stuff on discount because they just want to get rid of their supplies. So if there's something you've been eyeing but you're like, it's kind of pricey, I don't know if I want to pay that much, maybe I should wait, don't be afraid to wait until Sunday before the shopping hall closes, because you might get a 50% discount. You never know, just wait and see. Okay, so we are going to talk about now catching photo ops and meetups, which happen in Freeway Park. So Sakura Con, one of the reasons I really love this venue is the fact that Freeway Park is right behind the convention center, and it's so big, it's so massive, there's so many little spots, some spots that are totally out in the open, some spots that are almost like little tiny private areas you almost have to walk around the maze to get to. But regardless, if you have some free time and you want to go see some entertaining stuff, walk through Freeway Park and you will see so many meetups, so many photo ops, people getting their pictures professionally taken, like one-on-one with a photographer, people doing group pictures, people doing meetups for random events. I think there's an eat-a-bag meetup, so if you have an eat-a-bag, you want to go make some friends. Sakura Con is also held on Easter weekend, and in past years I've seen many people dressed in Easter-themed costumes with Easter baskets, just handing out candy and random toys in the park. So it's kind of like Freeway Park is known to be a great place to go meet friends, to like see what other people are up to. And I've also been caught in a couple photo shoots there too, because walking through as a League of Legends character and noticing there's a League of Legends meetup, being like, oh, I guess I should go to that. Okay, cool. And sometimes if you walk through Freeway Park, people will also like call out to you like, hey, are you going to whatever and whatever meetup? And then it's a good chance to be like, what's that? Tell me more. So yeah, if you have free time, you want some entertainment, you want to talk to people, you want to see what's up, Freeway Park is definitely the place to be. Okay, and then the last part of the convention center, I'm going to talk about things that are also close by it, because like many cosplayers, a lot of times if you go to a convention, you might break something, you might need something, and you need to know where is close to go get a replacement item, which is Bartels. So 3 blocks down from the convention center, there is a Bartell's drugstore, and there has been so many years where I have been in there buying a pair of replacement tights when I ripped mine, or a pair of new socks when I forgot to bring some, or buying eyelash glue because my eyelash glue dried all the way and I had a cosplay the next day I need to wear it for. You can buy makeup there, you can buy like medicine if you're not feeling well, like whatever you need. 3 blocks down, really close by. So yeah, it's a really great spot. Really like that area. Okay, so the last part we are going to be talking about are the events and panels at Sakura Con themselves. So again, I have seen so many events come and go, things in the past that I was like, I used to love that and I haven't seen it forever. One of those events being Where Fan Fiction Goes to Die. I don't know how many of you have been to past Sakura Cons, but they had this really awesome late night panel where pretty much a panel of hosts would read the worst fan fictions they had ever read before, and they would make commentary and use different voices. It was hilarious. Sakura Con is well known as a, what would you call it? Like an anime convention that has a nightlife. Emerald City closes early. People leave by 6 o'clock because there's nothing else to do there. So you have to go find something else in downtown to do. Sakura Con is not like that. There is a ton of nightlife within the convention itself. There's tons of late night panels. There's tons of day panels that go into night. There's there's a concert there. There's a lot of main stage events, just tons of stuff like that. So if you're going, prepared to be there and be very, very busy. So one thing I can definitely say is no matter what panel you're going to, try to go scope it out and line up 20 minutes early, because that's typically when the line starts to get really, really big. And especially the main stage there, while it can fit a lot of people, really sucks to be in the very back row of it because all the other 20 rows in front of you have already been taken. Now there's really awesome like screens up, so like giant television screens that show you the live feed of the stage, but there's nothing like being right up near the live feed and like almost smelling the glitter on people walking down the stage with their cosplay costumes. Okay, but yeah, definitely try to line up early because as I said before, it's a huge convention, it's really busy. They just posted, I think last week, that ticket sales are completely sold out now, which means they're not even selling tickets at the event itself anymore. It's just like, it's gonna be really max capacity this year, so like plan for that. Also, don't stress out if you don't get into a panel or an event at the beginning if they run out of seating or they're at capacity, because chances are someone will leave and their seat will become open. So hang out near the entrance. Usually there will be like a small line, and then as people get bored and leave the event or have to go to other things, they'll let more people in. So just like don't stress out about it. If you go, I don't know, to like the cosplay competition or to like a panel late at night and there's a huge line and you're like, oh no, we're not gonna get in, maybe we should just leave. Stick around, stay in the line, eventually you will get in. It's happened to me before. I try not to stress out about it now. Okay, so one thing I can't let you guys go away without is telling you about events that you absolutely cannot miss. If you are going to Sakura Con this weekend, here are the events I highly recommend you go and see because they are amazing, just really, really amazing. Okay, the first thing obviously is the cosplay competition. So we have a mixture of skits and also people walking the runway to show off their cosplays. And they are incredible. Like, I don't know what it is about Sakura Con, but people there are really incredible creators. And this year they are expecting to see some really amazing designs with everyone kind of being, stuck at home for 2 years. So if you don't do any other main stage event, I highly recommend just go to the cosplay competition. It's really fun to hear the judges talk. It's really fun to see everyone in their costumes. There's music, there's skits. It's really entertaining. I took my husband last year for the first time, and it was really cool to like show him that because he had never been to a cosplay convention. And even him, who is not really into cosplay at all, thought it was really cool to watch everyone, and he loved it at the end. So yeah, definitely make sure you don't miss it. The second thing that I highly recommend going to is the AMV contest. This isn't like your stereotypical AMVs that you randomly find on YouTube at 1 in the morning when you're really bored and you can't sleep. These are high quality AMVs made that could be professional productions. They are like that incredible. The cool thing about going to the contest, if you go when it's actually happening, not when they're like doing a re-showing later on, is that you get to be a part of the voting. So like your vote matters, you get to vote. And they have, I think, 5 or 6 categories that AMVs can fall into. And you get to vote for best in each category. And then you also get to vote for like best in show and then something else, I can't remember. But it's really, really fun. I have actually found a lot of animes that I had never watched before by going to the AMV contest and me going, ooh, that looks cool. Okay, I'm gonna write this down. I'm gonna take this with me. Because they give you a little like laminated panel-y thing that you get to take with you. And a lot of times I would sit there and be circling the ones that I wanted to watch later. Also a lot of music, so if you like music, it's just fun to go and watch the AMVs in it. Some of them are funny, some are really cute, some are like super sad, just a lot. But it's really fun, and yeah, the production quality is just incredible. Really, really cool to see. So don't forget to go to that as well. And then the last event that I highly recommend going to is actually a panel, and it is hosted by none other than Futurama's Zap Brannigan. Well, not the real him, but you know, someone cosplaying as him who's been doing it for a very, very long time. So there are 3 different panels that this group is doing. So look on the schedule for the word Zap's Love panel, Zap's Spaceship of Love, and Zap's something else. If you see the word Zap, it's probably them. But they do the most hilarious panels I have ever been to. One thing that was really tough for me was bringing my husband to a convention when he's not into conventions and going, okay, what panel can I bring him to that he'll find funny but won't make me look weird? And I was like, okay, I'm gonna bring him to the Zap panel. I think he'll like it. And by the end, we were both laughing so hard we were crying. So pretty much one of the panels, which is Zap's Spaceship of Love, is Zap Brannigan from Futurama giving love advice in character. And they let anyone come up and ask questions live, and they give advice on it, and they have a panel of hosts. All of their friends dress up differently every year, but I don't know, there is something about those people. I have laughed more in that panel than anything else at a convention ever. It is incredible. There are also late night panels, so they are able to have more like PG-13, 18 and up sort of content. So if you're into that, you know, could be fun. They also host them kind of later at night, I think around 9 p.m. So if you want something to do that is later in the evening and you're not really interested in the rave, really cool way to fill your time. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I am so sorry that I talked your ear off. I know I'm going at like 100 words a minute, a mile, of whatever it may be. I am really excited to see all you guys there, and if you go to Sakura Con, you know, have a really good weekend. It's gonna be fun, guys. So I'll see you there, and I'll see you later. Bye, guys.